Hey, I'm Francesca Tarantino, and you're listening to Smash FM, and you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Francesca T Music.
Welcome everyone here to the Smash Evening Show right here on Smash FM here on a Tuesday here in Melbourne. Because let's continue our theme in the music side of things, and because it is great to have this music artist on the show. Because she's got a new release coming out this week, actually. Of course, Not So Serious is coming out this week, and because her name's Francesca, she joins us right now. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
No worries. Well, obviously, exciting news that you got your new release coming out this week. Tell us a bit about it briefly.
Yeah, of course. So, when I was writing this song, I just wanted to write a super fun and summery and summer anthem song because all my other songs are a little bit sad and more on the, I don't know, just not as happy side. So, I wanted to write the song about not being so serious. It's fully self-produced by myself. It comes out this Friday, May 16th, so make sure you stay tuned. I'm super excited about it. So it's just a fun song to dance to in the summer.
How long in the making was this?
I think I started making it about 3 months ago, maybe, and it just kind of sat in my phone notes for a while, and then I finally decided, okay, I'm gonna record it, and it's gonna be out this summer.
Now, have you got any tours for this?
Not tours, but I am gigging all around Orlando, here in Florida. I played the song everywhere I go now to market it out a bunch, and people sound pretty excited about it. So that's pretty much what I've been doing.
We're almost halfway through the year now. I'm sure this is your first one for the year, I'm assuming.
Yes, it is my first one that I'm releasing this year. And then later in the year, I'm gonna be releasing an EP, which is really cool. So
And if you don't mind me asking, how when you're hoping to have that later in the year?
that will probably be in maybe September or October, in that kind of around there, that um, time period, something like that.
Aussie listeners are dying to know when are you hoping to come down to Australia?
I've never even been out of the country, so I
Oh,
definitely, I definitely need to get out there at some point. But the one thing I am worried about, those spiders. I've heard there are a lot of spiders over there, and I'm very afraid of spiders. But if there were no spiders, I would be there in a minute. But definitely somewhere I need to get to.
at the moment in your music journey, you have the three number one artists on the A Break Music. Tell us a bit about that.
Oh my gosh, that is really cool because first I was the youngest artist to have a number one on that A Break Music platform, and then I was the first artist to have three number ones on that platform. So that just absolutely blew my mind. I'm so honored. The people over there, Jay and Bruce, they're so nice to work with. I'm really, really honored for this, and thanks for all the people voting. It's a really cool indie artist music platform. Um, the song that just got number one, or that time period just ended, but the one that was most recently was number one was my song Hold On to Me, which I
Hmm?
made a mistake earlier. That was the first song I released this year. I don't know why I just skipped over that one. And then also my song Tragedy, that was also number one on that internet radio platform. And my other song Truth Cannot Hide, which is really cool. And I'm really proud of all those three, so that just made them even more special to me.
Okay, I'm going to ask a really, really tough question considering you've had three songs that are ranked number one on the A Break Music.
Mhm.
Which one of those is your favorite?
Oh gosh. I think I would say Hold On to Me just because it was my first time diving into self-producing. And that was really, really, really scary for me. And I just think that made it even more special. It's also the first song I'm playing my own guitar solo. So, I just that is probably the most special song to me I've ever written, honestly, so far, and I think it's going to be hard to top that. And I also do really like the song, and I like the chords that I wrote for it. So I guess Hold On to Me would be my favorite.
Can you tell us a little bit about Hold On to Me and how much attraction did you get out of it? Obviously, being number one, but was that your biggest following to it?
So far, yes, actually, it was it was my song that has the most streams in the time period that it's been out so far. It's my first fully self-produced single, like I said. I'm playing the guitar solo on it. I'm obviously singing on it. I have my friend Joe Nelson on the bass, and I have someone all the way in the UK playing the drums. His name is Glenn Wellman. And I also have a music video released for that song, which I've also never done like a full music video for a song like that before. So that was really, really cool. And Hold On to Me, it was basically about having someone in your life who's drifting away, and you're just asking them to hold on and stay in your life because you don't want to lose that relationship. It's not really it's kind of about anything. Some people think that it's immediately about a boy or love, but it's really about anybody in your life that you just want to stay in your life who's slowly drifting away.
Talk a bit about your EP that's coming up too. Obviously, we'll probably get you back on the show again to talk a bit more about it when once it's released. But have you got? I'm assuming some of your number one songs will be on that without giving too much away.
No, it's actually going to be all new songs. There's actually,
Ooh.
well, except for there's going to be an acoustic version of Hold On to Me on there. I've been thinking about that for a while and I've been wanting to release an acoustic version of that song. So I decided I'm going to put that on there. But otherwise, everything else going to be brand new songs that you've never heard before. So that's really exciting. I've already written pretty much all of them. So they're all ready. Now I just have to record them.
Now let's talk a bit about your music journey. Where did the love of music start, and what does it mean now?
Well, I pretty much got the love of music from my parents. When I was little, they were always playing music around the house. Always, always, always they were playing like Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, Lynyrd Skynyrd, the Eagles, so many bands. And I just fell in love with music. My dad also plays guitar as a hobby, and he put a guitar in my hands when I was like 6 or something, and I just fell in love with it. I had no idea what I was doing, but I still loved it just having it in my hands. And then I thought that I could only really get music through musical theater. It just didn't occur to me yet that I could like actually play guitar and be a singer. So I started doing musical theater and that gave me really good stage presence and I learned a lot about being on stage. So that was so helpful. And then I decided, okay, I want to get back to rock music and I want to play guitar and I want to solo and I want to write my own music. So then I started taking serious guitar lessons and serious vocal lessons and getting out of that musical theater realm. And now music is just a getaway for me. It is my job technically, but it's basically my favorite thing to do. It's also a hobby. It's my everything. I think it's the coolest thing ever. It brings people together. And it just makes me really, really happy. So I'm so grateful that it's my career path.
For everyone that listens to your music, what type of genre do you think it is?
I would say pop rock primarily. I know a lot of people say there's some like country roots in there and some blues, but primarily I would say pop rock.
Now, so what's your upcoming gig coming up?
Ooh, my next gig, I actually have one this Friday at a place called Canoe Creek Tavern here in St. Cloud in Florida. I play there every third Friday of the month, so I have like a little mini residency there. And I also have so many other gigs booked. I'm constantly booking gigs. It's how you get your music out there, and it's just,
Mhm.
the best thing to do, playing. So, if you ever want to see where I'm playing for anyone here in Florida, you can go to my website, francescatarantino.com, and on my website, I have a little thing that tells you all of my upcoming shows, and I think it even tells you the closest one to you, I think. I don't know. But if you want to check it out, you can see where I'm playing and hit a show. And maybe one day there will be one in Australia there, so keep an eye
Wow.
out.
I hope so, Francisco. I hope so. Am I assuming that your first gig coming up locally, is that you? Are you going to be singing your new one, Not So Serious, at the same time?
Yes, I have already been throwing that one into my gigs, just to see what people think of it. And yeah, people have been liking it so far, so definitely I'll play it Friday as well to see what people think. I love getting feedback on my music when I play it out, so I think it's the best.
Yeah. You mentioned about what it means to perform music. So the question I'm going to ask you is, this part is, what is the most rewarding thing? Is it performing or writing music? Or, and the most difficult part of music? Is it songwriting, like actually writing or performing?
Okay, most rewarding, honestly, I would say both because I love performing. I love seeing people's reactions when I perform. I meet so many new people when I perform. I get to talk about music with other people, which is so fun because I feel like a little nerd. And it's the best thing ever meeting new people through music. But I also love writing music because, in a way, it's therapy. And even if you're not a musician, even if you're not anything, writing is just the best thing ever. I've always loved writing. And putting music into that is just even better. So I don't have an answer for that. I would have to say both. But most challenging, I have to pick between writing and performing. Is that what I'm doing? Gosh. I would probably say writing because no. Yeah, okay. I would say writing because sometimes you get I'm so indecisive sometimes, but sometimes you get what's called writer's block, which I know some people get all the time and I get it, and you don't really know what to write about and you can't find anything to inspire you. And then like a day later you come back to writing and you're like, "Oh, I know what I'm going to write about." So, it's very hard to get into the writing mindset, but once you're there, you can't leave. So, I would say that is probably the most challenging thing, but there are also some challenges with performing too. So there are challenges in everything, but I think more would be in writing music.
Mm. Do you have any future ambitions in music?
I just want to play my music for as many people as possible. I want to travel the world playing music, and I just want to continue getting better. I never want to stop getting better. No, there's always room for improvement, and I want to keep releasing music. I think the sky's the limit, and I just want to keep doing what I'm doing and seeing where it leads me.
Is there a particular venue in the US that you would love to perform?
I've actually gotten this question a few times, and I feel like every time I change my answer. So I'm trying to pick which one I want to choose today. Um, there's so many. I feel like I've already played at so many cool places. I got to play the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is really cool. But I think I would say Whiskey A Go Go in LA, just because I feel like it's such an iconic place in music, and I just think that's where the vibes are. But again, I changed my answer for that a bunch of times, so yeah, that's my answer for today. That's my answer for today. We're gonna say Whiskey A Go Go.
Okay, other than that venue, any big actual like MSG in New York or even the Grand Opera in Nashville or like any other places around the world?
Anywhere. Everything you just named, I just want to play my music for as many people as possible. So honestly, playing anywhere, I don't really mind if it's small or if it's big. Obviously, bigger is probably better, but Radio City is also really cool, and
Yes.
I just think there's so many cool places, but I'd honestly say anywhere. If anywhere asked me to play, I'd probably say yes.
Yeah. I guess for your music, who's your inspiration?
Ooh, I have a lot. So first, I would say Heart, the band Heart, because the lead singer and lead guitarist, Ann Wilson and Nancy Wilson, I want to be like both of them combined, if that makes sense. Also, the lead singer of, or Paramore in general, and also the lead singer of Paramore, Hayley Williams. I think she has such a powerful voice, and I aspire to be like her. Also Olivia Rodrigo, I love her style. It's that pop rock style as well. Um, Miley Cyrus, who I'm missing somebody who Kelly Clarkson,
Hmm.
Avril Lavigne, so many people like that. Just those female powerhouse singers, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
and guitar players.
Yes. Now, what will be your advice to people that should get involved in music?
Definitely not worrying, try not to worry about what other people think of you because that was what I was going through when I started in musical theater because I didn't even want to perform anywhere. I had horrible stage fright. I wouldn't even sing in front of my parents because I always thought that people were judging me, thinking I'm weird or thinking I'm bad. Um, but then you start to realize along the way that it really doesn't matter. And if you're having fun and having a good time, that's really all that matters. And if you're not having fun or having a good time doing what you're doing, it's not really something you should be doing. But I love music. I always have a good time. So I've just learned, I'm still improving, but I've learned to do better not worrying about what others think and worry about what I think.
Do you have any embarrassing moments on stage?
Oh my gosh, there are a lot. There's so many times I've messed up that I can't even. There have been so many times where people are recording me super up close and they can see my every move. And of course, that's when I get nervous and that's when I mess up. And then they like post it on social media. So somewhere there's always just a little clip of me messing up, but then I find it and I just laugh because it's really funny. There's also been a time where I was playing my electric guitar on stage and the strap didn't break, but it just came off of the guitar and I don't know what happened. I must have had like a spidey sense or something was tingling and I caught the guitar. I was very impressed. But I was very, very lucky because that's one of my dad's guitars and I was very lucky it didn't hit the ground. But we all just kind of laughed about it afterwards and I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm going to start the song over now because the strap whatever happened to the strap happened." But there are just so many mess ups and things like that that happen. There have been so many times I've tripped on stage, which is always funny. I always laugh at myself when I trip, but I feel like the stage is my home, so even when I do mess up, I just laugh at myself.
And I'm assuming you've forgotten a lyric to a song, which I always ask this question to all the music artists.
Many, many, many times. Even though I do have an iPad in front of me, there have been so many times where either I lose my spot or I'm just not looking at the iPad and then I gotta go, oh, what's the lyric again? And I still don't even get it and I just speak gibberish for a second. But most of the time, people don't realize. There have been times I forget lyrics to my own songs, which is crazy because I wrote them. But words are hard to remember sometimes, so that's okay. But there have been a lot of times I've done that.
Do you have any pre-performance superstition, ritual, or routine?
Oh my gosh, many. Always on the way to my gigs, I do vocal warm-ups. So I always have to warn my family in the car, okay, I'm doing vocal warm-ups now. And they turn down the radio and I start like doing all my warm-ups, which sound really, really funny, but at least it's just my family in the car. I get to my gigs and I always drink lemonade. I don't really know why. I just feel like it's the best for my throat. That or sweet tea. I don't really drink sodas when I gig. Of course, I drink water, but there's pretty much always a lemonade next to me. I suck on these little throat gummies, which always help my throat. They keep me really hydrated. And then afterwards, for my gigs, I always do vocal cool downs because you always want to make sure you cool down your voice in the right way, or else you're
Okay.
just gonna sing a lot, and then you're just gonna stop, and your voice is gonna be like that's kind of harsh on me, so I always got to make sure I cool down. So warm-ups and cool down time to choose an outfit because I always want to look my best, but those are the top of things I do.
Okay, I've never had anyone that's mentioned about the cool down. So you're the very first one I've ever had on the show that has mentioned about cool down.
I learned that. I was very lucky. My first vocal teacher ever told me about that, and I've had no other vocal teacher tell me about that, so it's kind of just been my routine because it's one of the first things I learned, and not a lot of people do it, but
Hmm.
when I do a gig and I don't cool down, I just feel kind of weird, and I feel like I'm pushing my throat around a lot, so cooling it down, I just feel like it helps a lot, and I feel like a lot of more people need to do that.
For anyone that should follow your music, how can they go about it on their favorite streaming services?
I'm on all streaming platforms, so if you just search up my name, Francesca Tarantino, you can find me anywhere and listen to all my songs. Of course, stay tuned for the one coming out on May 16th. And also, you can follow me on all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Francesca T Music if you want to go and check that out. And also my website, of course, to see where I'm playing next, francescatarantino.com.
And of course, similar question about how can they follow you on the socials?
Oh, oops. I kind of jumped the gun there, didn't I? Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
Instagram, yeah, sorry. I basically said it already. Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, Francesca T Music if you want to check it out.
Sorry, I didn't realize you already mentioned that. So,
No, you're okay. I get too excited. I want everyone to go to my socials.
It's all right. Everyone will know now. Francisco, it is so awesome having you on the show. I've been very excited for a while since we started organizing this to have you on the show. So can't wait for your new release, which is Not So Serious, this Friday, your time, which is Saturday, our time, just in time for the weekend. But thank you so much for joining us and can't wait to listen to your new song, Not So Serious, very soon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Stay tuned for that song, and thank you so much again. I had a great time.
No worries. And that's Francesca there joining us there because, as we said, Not So Serious is this Saturday, our time, Friday, over in the US. So make sure you check that out on your Spotify and favorite music streaming services. This morning's Smash Evening Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 15th year celebration.
Hey, I'm Francesca Tarantino, and you're listening to Smash FM, and you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Francesca T Music.